All right, so we're ready to move on to the next part of the process here. So we have our lomies or designer dishes already loaded with our floral foam. They're anchored, they're ready to go. Now, I'm going to be setting this on here just so I can get a draping effect down. That way I'm not working on it flat. This is important for your insertion so that you can get underneath versus coming in straight into the design. You're going to see that waterfall effect as it's going to be sitting on top of these particular vases right here. This is a celebration vase. We have many different sizes of this. I pulled out this particular one because it fits on the table. We're going to be using for the wedding coming up this weekend something a little bit larger, a little bit more substantial, filling it with marbles at the bottom and lighting the vase up from the bottom. Creates a real nice effect. So we're going to start with leather leaf. I like to put a little bit of water in my vase, that way it gives it a little bit of substance, that way it doesn't move around as I'm working. Now, leather leaf is not one of my particular favorites in greening, but it does hide the mechanics, and that's all we want to do. We want to make sure that when we're done, we can't see a lot of this stuff. Keep in mind, we have a lot of greenery that's going to be going into this particular arrangement. We have salal, we have eucalyptus, seeded eucalyptus, we have variegated pitmosa, bear grass, a couple different other ones, and as we go through the process I'm going to show you each one. I'm going to take each particular greenery and show you how and what it's going to look like as you're putting them in. So as you're looking at the fern, if you notice where it starts to V right here, you're going to cut that. Okay. This particular one doesn't look real great. What I do is I pull off anything that doesn't look good. Now, we don't want it to be dead or look like it's dying. Now, your insertions for these should look something like that. As it's going to be draping down, you get a little bit up here and you get some coming down. Now, I don't necessarily need to have a lot of draping fern because I don't want to show the fern. I just want to hide my mechanics. So I'm going to move around in the same fashion. Now I've got a nice piece right here. I can go up into it this way, making sure I don't go all the way to the top. So we're started. We have a few nice pieces already in there. If something doesn't look good, don't use it. That one's broken. I'm not going to use that. Okay, so I've gotten down to the point where it's small enough to where I can insert, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You want to make it look as though it's growing natural. Everything in nature grows, for the most part, from the center out. So you want to make it look like that. This is a particular design that's called a radial design. It's not a pave. It's not. We can go over those in another video. But this particular design that we're doing here is very. Well, it's used quite a bit, I would say, in weddings. I was going to say it's very traditional, but what's traditional anymore? So as I'm working around the design, you can kind of see, I'm moving a little bit quicker here, just so you can get a good idea. I'll belabor the idea. If you get pieces like this that don't look right, that are flopping around, get rid of it. There's no point in putting that in the design. It's not going to look good. Same thing with that. I'm going to keep working around the design. Remember, this is a radial design. You want to do here the same thing you're going to do here, here, and here. We're not putting a lot into it. We're putting enough to cover the mechanics. I don't want to see the dish. I don't want to see the oasis. Also, too, remember, like I said, we'll be putting in other greenery, and you'll be able to hide more of your mechanics, how things are put together, a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video for now, and I'm going to show you the finished product, but you can get a good idea. Remember, you want this to be cascading. You want to cover all your mechanics. You're going to go through, demonstrate again. Something doesn't look good, get rid of it. Remember, you're going to cut just above where the last one is. So you're not seeing that stem stick up in the design. Now this particular one doesn't look good, so I'm going to get rid of it. This one does. So I got a nice little sprig right there. I can pop that in. And you're going to make that go all the way around. You can see how this is starting to take shape as I'm working through the design. Not, again, putting too much emphasis on filling it out with leatherleaf, because that's not what this design is supposed to. We're highlighting some other beautiful greens that's going to be in there, and I don't want to take up too much room. Just want to cover the mechanics.